Good afternoon, Council members. My name is Panos Provedouros. I'm a professor of civil engineering, and today I'm speaking here on behalf of the HHUA, the Hawaii Highway Users Alliance. It is a fact that Honolulu is the most lane-deficient metropolitan area in the United States. There is no substitute for road capacity. One cannot express buses and railroads, but without key road widening projects, some underpasses, intelligent transportation system applications, and a Leeward Oahu to Town Expressway, there will be no reduction in congestion and no growth in the EVA plains as planned. There are several myths about roadways that particularly are promulgated by the Mayor Hanneman administration. Roads put more cars on the road. No, new roads reduce traffic congestion. The H3 freeway and the Kalanianaole Highway widening project improved traffic conditions. The number of private vehicles has exceeded the number of licensed drivers for the last 10 years. Please refer to census reports. A driver can only drive one vehicle at a time. All excess vehicles remain parked. Number two, roads create traffic congestion where they end. No, a properly engineered expressway will distribute its traffic to many employment and trip centers, such as starting from Waikele, Aiea, Aloha Stadium, Pearl Harbor, H3, Airport, and Mapunapuna, Kalihi, and Iwilei. None of this is in the alternatives analysis. For example, a proper off-ramp will terminate in the median of Lagoon Drive or Waia Camilo Road and discharge traffic without a left turn light that takes forever to serve traffic in a single left turn lane. Traffic congestion is a traffic engineering issue, but little traffic engineering has been applied on Oahu and the city's alternatives analysis. Where is the job growth that will generate the million plus of new trips that are forecast in the city study? New jobs in that area, UH West Oahu, and retail development in EVA will reduce the need actually to travel to Honolulu. Third allegation that all of $8 is too high for our working families. Yes. This guess, however, was made by the city's administration. Tolls may have to be this high on SR 91 in a city of 15 million, Los Angeles, where demand for speedy travel is huge. There is no such demand on Oahu. The base toll on the managed lanes will be on the average $4 during peak period times and $1 to $2 during off-peak. Indeed, some folks will be unable to pay the toll, but they will benefit from a hot expressway because at the H1, H2 merge, there will be about 20% less traffic. So they will save 15 minutes on H1 freeway for free. Finally, some railroad facts. Rail's cost and tax bill will cause the economy to shrink. Exploding congestion will make freight and tourism operations more expensive and increasingly less competitive. The aging of the baby boomers will reduce trips and reduce dependency.
Thank you.
My last sentence is that rail is an inconvenient black hole alternative.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Members, any questions? No questions. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Councilmember Marshall.
Thank you. Can you, you said that, elaborate a bit on your last statement about a rail being...
A black hole of...
Yes.
Yeah, right. Well, I started saying that, there is going to be reduced need for it because of the aging of the population, and naturally rail is very inconvenient for the elderly and the handicapped. You will need to consider, several times we had how many times we referred to the bridge that fell on the H1 freeway. But if you look at the statistics, there are many more cases where the rail actually fails. It's an engineered system that fails. And then you have to also account for suicide, terrorism, and power outages. So the efficiency of the rail and the stoppages that it experiences are quite more frequent than other events that happen on the rail system. History will repeat itself in Honolulu. There is no doubt about it. Upon rail start, it will carry 2% of trips, and most of them will be from the bus.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Councilmember Garcia.
Doctor, when it comes to transportation, we talk about mobility, which is the long haul in this case, the 20 or 28 mile iteration of rail, if it's going to be rail. When it comes to transportation, we also talk about access and circulation. That's within a region, within a neighborhood. Now, And the solution that you provide for us, should we go to the elevated toll road? And there's the concern about how we empty the traffic from the toll lane out into, downtown Honolulu. You made reference to at least one off-ramp by Lagoon Drive. Are there other off-ramps?
I have a potential for between 6 and 8 off-ramps. We do have that potential.
You have that. So you think in surveying what we have the footprint necessary to build out these 6 off-ramps coming from the toll roads?
Right.
Okay. And that's going into downtown Honolulu.
2 of them will be downtown Honolulu, and if we really start thinking about $6 billion infrastructure, then we can have mini tunnels bringing traffic into the core of downtown without actually building any overhead and without affecting vistas like, Aloha Tower and etc. Los Angeles is planning a major tunnel to connect 2 freeways. It's been a trend in the nation to actually create mini tunnels to decongest bottlenecks. Okay. And we haven't even put any of those for preliminary, assessment.
Okay, granted that will help perhaps deal with the access part of the equation, but when it comes to the circulation within the downtown, how do we accommodate, we can't deal with it off-ramps, obviously, so we have to take a look at the network of roads, the surface roads,
Correct.
the Baratanias, the Bishops, and all
Correct.
that. So how do we do that when it is limited capacity as we have now? So how do we deal with the circulation within the town? You can get us to town, sir, with your solutions.
Right.
But circulation within, how do you solve that?
Actually, Mr. Garcia, if you travel during peak hour around town, it is not terribly bad. Our bottlenecks are entering into town. If you drive on King Street, Belletania, Alaquea, and you look at the level of service is rarely F at those locations at present time. That is one. So there is some capacity for more circulation. And number 2 is a lot of people say all these new cars. Which new cars? In order to get new cars, you will have to get a lot of new employment, job positions in downtown. Otherwise, why would more people come to downtown? Where are the new jobs downtown? So we have to address that first before we start coming up with, 50,000 more cars coming to downtown. Where from and why? Actually, in my opinion, 50,000 new trips or more will be generated right there in Eva. As I said, UH West Oahu develops, retail develops. There was on TV that, the governor wants to create a new Ala Moana shopping center of that size in the Eva Plain. So trips actually will not need to come in huge numbers to town. They will stay in the Eva district. So I don't even agree with the distribution of trips the way they're modeled in the alternatives analysis. It doesn't fit with the plan.
Yeah, never mind the commercial or business growth that would be generating the jobs, as you say, you question for downtown, but just the residential. As you can see, the new state bird is that yellow construction crane. It's happening all over town, Doctor. So given that those people will be driving cars within and circulating within town, how do we accommodate the traffic that is going to be generated by that kind of development?
Again, my position is that there is not going to be new traffic. It's the same traffic. It can be accommodated. The traffic signals are not optimized in downtown area, so there is a lot more we can do. Yesterday, Councilman Okino was on the radio and he said the traffic lights are coordinated. They are not. In order to coordinate traffic lights, the cycles of the signals have to be identical. And we can go out, walk with a stopwatch, and we'll see that one signal has 2-minute cycle, the other has 2.5-minute cycle. That's immediate evidence that the cycles are not coordinated. It doesn't take a genius to analyze that.